I have one thing. I just want to ask you about this statement that came out just before the human rights ceremony about the authority for visa bans against people who are officials, authorities who are involved in the wrongful detention of people. Don't you have the authority to do that already?
This was outlining, we had under a different authority to do it in some circumstances, but this was kind of refining and expanding our ability to use those authorities with respect to wrongful detentions. I'm happy to get you a more detailed.
Please do, because I just don't understand why adding a layer.
It refers to the way we exercise those authorities under different provisions of the law, and I'm happy to get you a technical expert to talk about that.
But I mean, it just seems kind of
refines
pointless
it.
since you already have this authority. You've used it before, and so I don't understand why you
I can guarantee you this was explained to me, and it's a very detailed. It is a very detailed technicality under the law.
I'll let it go for now. I want to go to Syria. I'm just. Can you explain to me this whole idea of when you say you're prepared to recognize a new Syrian leadership that does these specific things that you've outlined? Whatever happened to the old, what had been a previous, a mantra for decades that you don't recognize governments, you recognize states? And what does it mean that you would recognize a new leadership that meets these criteria?
So I don't think I'm qualified to speak to a State Department mantra that dates back decades, since I've not been here for all that time. But I can tell you when we speak to this, what we mean is, look, you have seen this group, HTS, take control of some of the levers of power. You have seen them work to name an acting prime minister. And the United States does not have standing diplomatic relations with Syria, right? We withdrew our embassy a number of years ago. We recognize Syria as a state. We have not recognized the HTS as the governing authority in Syria. We have not recognized them as the government of Syria. And so what we are making clear is, before we recognize a government of Syria, a particular government of Syria, these are the steps that we think are important to be followed.
Okay, and what does that what would that recognition entail? Reopening the embassy?
So I don't want to get ahead of the process. We're obviously not there. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight. There's needs to be a Syrian-led process that plays out over the coming weeks. But we thought it was important on behalf of the United States, because we do have a number of authorities that we have exercised with respect to Syria over the past decade plus, especially with sanctions, but also with our diplomatic relations. We thought it was important that we make clear what we think are the principles that should be upheld during this transition process and during the formation of a new government.